Okay, I've been asked to do a tutorial on making string with natural cordage. So this is a leaf of a yucca plant that I found in my local park. The good thing about Britain is we have lots of different species from all over the world. They were brought into the country years and years ago, and they've established themselves quite nicely. So you can find yucca out and about. It's a large ornamental grass, and you tend to find that it's very, very strong that way, but very, very weak that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by separating it into bits approximately a few mils wide, and then what we do is we then stick our nail in and pull it off again like so, and we're left with small strands. Now you can vary these strands, but what I tend to find is if they're about 2 millimeters thick, as you rip them, you get them down the full length of the yucca leaf. And you'll tend to find that you'll probably get, off one large leaf, you'll probably get about maybe 6 foot of a good quality string. Okay, so we do that with the whole leaf, and then we pop that over the door frame and allow it to dry. Ready? Okay, as if by magic, it's all nice and dried. It's been left for about 3 hours on the door frame. It's still quite pliable, but it's quite rough. I mean, it's strong, but it's quite rough. So I'm going to show you how to make a single strand. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically find the middle roughly, like so. And then we're going to start twisting opposite directions. So this hand I'm going to go that way, and this hand I'm going to go that way. And we're just going to try and build up some tension in the middle. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult with yucca because it's quite flat, where when you're working with nettles are nice and rounded. So we'll just build up a bit of pressure in it, and you can see it wanting to kink. Now that kink is the start of your string. So we've got that little kink there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it in that hand there. And then this is the magic bit, we're going to braid it. So we'll take the top one and we'll twist it away a few times. I'm just using my fingers here just to hold the tension on it. We'll twist the bottom one a few times. And then what we'll do, we'll grab the bottom one like so and pull it up. Yeah, and then we'll twist the top one, grab the bottom one and pull it up. So the bottom one becomes the top one. Twist, grab and rotate like so. And you're just going to keep going, and every time you do a little one, if you notice I'm moving my left hand with my thumb and my forefinger up a tiny little bit to grab the bit that I've just done. We'll do that a few times. After a while you can get quite quick at it and proficient at it with a little bit of practice. And all you're doing is you're twisting away, bringing back up, twisting away, bringing back up, and you end up with a nice braid. Now that makes it a lot more pliable, and that is, believe it or not, that is really, really strong. I mean, I can't snap that. That's a single braid basically, and I can't snap it with my hands. So I would estimate that there would be about, I'd say about maybe 10 or 15 kilos of strength before that would snap. Now you're probably wondering, when you get to the end of the length, how do you work it in? And how do you make it longer? Well, I'll show you. So if we take this bit here, and let's say that's the end of our length, what we would do is we would get another bit, and we would fold the end over, and give it a bit of a twist, and then we'll pop it onto one of the strands, move it up a little bit so you're left with like a little loop, and then you twist that a few times, and then you braid it back in like so a few times, and then we'll grab another one and we'll do exactly the same. Fold that end bit over, stick it on that top one, the short one, and twist that round a few times, and then we braid that back in as well. So we basically, you can make your string any length by doing that. And normally I would say ensure that you braid the next length in when you've got about maybe 2 inches of your strands left, and that'll ensure that it's just as strong as any other part of your string. But as you can see, that's still incredibly strong, and that's how you can make it any length you want. Okay, so to do thicker and stronger strings and ropes, you would just use more strands. So we'll just do exactly the same, find approximately the middle and twist it round. You've got to change your technique slightly because it's a lot stronger and harder to do it that way. So you start your kink like so, just ensure that we've got the twists on the kink. See how it's wanting to spin round itself? Grab that with your hands and do exactly the same thing. Now you might find that you may have to do a few more twists with a thicker amount of strand, like with more strands to make a thicker rope, and you'll find that your fingers start hurting quicker. But what you will find is you can also get much longer lengths done quicker because the thickness of the string is wider. So because you're using more strands, each turn produces a longer length than when you're working with less strands. So you can produce rope or very, very thick string a lot quicker than you can produce thin stuff. Now I've tested this and I had 100 kilos of weight on something less than the thickness of my finger and it still wouldn't snap. So I don't know how strong it is. I wouldn't suggest sort of taking your life into your hands and climbing with it or anything like that, but it is incredibly strong. Okay. So that's the one I've just produced there, nice and strong. This is the one I produced yesterday, and if you look, the colour in comparison to that one has changed quite a bit, and that's because it's dried out further, and the more it dries the more supple it becomes, and it's still really strong. So those are multiple strand ones. This is a 4-strand one, so this is perfect for things like snares. It's really strong. It does slide over itself relatively easy, but a small game is just not gonna snap that. No way. Might bite through it, but. And then this is what I would call a 1/4 strand one, and it's where I've taken me standard strand and broke it down even further. And this is a thread. It's still really strong. I could probably snap it if I really tried. Hang on. Nah, I cannot snap it. Nah, I cannot snap it. It's really strong. So you could fish with that. You can make a nice little fishing set with it. So there you go. That is strings using yucca and a simple braid. And I think the next tutorial video will probably show you how to process nettles.